We've also got Sarabjit Kour joining us on the phone line on the news surrounding Lupin. Sarabjit, thanks for joining us. Quite a shot on the arm for Lupin, it seems, this afternoon on closing that report, receiving that EIR.
Yeah, definitely quite a positive news, and it's good that Lupin has a track record and has kept its pace in terms of wrapping up issues faster than its peers, and that's positive for the company because then whenever such issues come up, at least Lupin has been quite at it in terms of resolving those issues. So I think, yeah, positive for the company as well as the management track record also.
Okay. You know, Sarabjit, lately, every time we see a bit of positive or negative news on any of these pharma names, we see these abrupt moves. So I just want to put it into perspective and understand, where Lupin really stands according to you right now, given, the recent news that needs to be kept in mind.
See, we don't normally change our earnings perspective based on the news flow because these news flows have, various possible outcomes coming through. It could be warning letter, it could be import alert. So the consequences are different. So we don't play around with numbers so much, and companies are also now prudent enough, especially the large companies, to know that they don't put their main plant at so much risk, and if they diversify their manufacturing base faster, they're not dependent on one plant too much to get their revenue from US market because it's one of the key markets. Nonetheless, the safe way for any investor to play in markets for any stock, particularly any industry, to make sure that they're not buying stocks at very expensive valuations. That was the case with Lupin when the Lupin had gone up to 2000 levels and touched new highs, was touching new highs because it was expected that's the only company which is away from US FDA news. That is never the case in pharma industry, even though the management quality might be good. Like you have in case of Sun Pharma and any other company, then in that case, I believe that, you have to be prudent by playing the valuations right. And now the stock has corrected and moved up. It went down to almost 1400 odd levels and now it's corrected. So to that extent, I believe that that was the right time. We had a strong buy at that level also. And now today also we have a buy. So I think instead of catching news flows, an investor is better off in any industry or particularly in any stock to catch the new valuations. So, that's how we have been advising people not to catch news flow but to catch the valuation. So I guess that's the only prudent way to play in a sector where such events could play havoc either which way and where the predictability of outcomes are pretty, it's very uncertain. It can't be predicted, and the only way to make money in stock market is to increase the probability of a predictability. So such event risk are abundant in most of the, whether it's large cap or small cap. So the best way is to play valuations. So it's a buy right now because the stock has corrected significantly.
Okay, and as you said, I mean, it tends to wrap things up faster than some of its peers, even in terms of how attractive it's looking vis-a-vis some of its peers. What would you say currently? Where does Lupin stand?
See, we have, as I said, we have a buy on Lupin, we have a buy on Sun Pharma, we have a buy on Aurobindo Pharma. So these are a couple of the stocks which are in a buy range. We have buy on Ipca for that matter, which is again grappling with the bigger FDA issue. So we are trying to catch valuations. We are not trying to catch news flow because these news flows are abundant and are day-to-day activity with respect to the business, inherently the business that they are in actually. To that extent, I guess that's the prudent way, and hence currently we have buy on these stocks only.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Sarabjit. A lot of good news coming in for Lupin there. Remember, this was the only factor that was bogging the stock down, even in the last quarterly earnings, when we did see the stock slump despite a fantastic set of numbers. So given this boost, we should see Lupin now pretty much steady going forward. All right, Mr. Choklingam, Mohit, thanks so much for joining us as well on the show today. We'll have to leave it there and take a very quick break. When we come back on Rising Stars, India's #1 couponing destination gets a